Uh, it's different. I don't know if it's more difficult or less difficult. It's just different. So, trying to make sure that you're prepared and that you have some velocity in the cage. Just because when you jump in there, the game's already going. So, um, I was glad that I could come off the bench and get a big hit for us. And obviously, this was a big homestand for the whole team. And we beat three quality teams.
At what point in time do you get the feeling that Joe might use you in that situation?
Um, I try to look at the game and just kind of analyze what makes sense. I knew if Albers came in the game, he's a sinker ball guy that's usually tough on right-handers, and it was a pretty good matchup for me. So, I had a suspicion that might be a chance, but about the fifth inning when it's a 1 or 2 run ball game, that's usually when I know that okay, it's time to get going and start the process.
A lot of emotion when you got to second base. How personally satisfying have the past couple of days been for you?
Yeah, it's been fun. When you're not playing the way you're capable of, and the team's not playing great. It feels good when you turn it around. Both personally and as a team. So to be able to come through in a big hit, a back and forth game against a really good team, it felt good.
Chase, there aren't many guys who've hit 400 home runs in their career. Not many switch hitters at all. What are your thoughts on Carlos reaching 400?
It's unbelievable. It's been a pleasure to be able to play with him the last couple of years and watch him and pick his brain. Man, we spent a few hours in the cages this year working on him trying to help me out, and that's the beauty of this team. There's a lot of guys that have done some pretty rare things, and yet they're still willing to reach out and help anytime they're asked. So, great to see him do that, and really joins a special club.
What are your thoughts on the way the team's playing right now compared to the way you guys were at the start of the homestand?
Well, I think we're playing the way we're capable of. Obviously we didn't start very well at all, and we dug ourselves a hole. And there's no breaks. Every team you play is a good team. So, it's good to see us playing the way we're capable of, but we got a long ways to go.
What's clicked for you?
I think mechanically I got, especially from the left side, not so much from the right side, but left side I was just out of whack for a while, and really couldn't feel like I was getting the bat head out in front of the plate. I was really tied up, so that was something that I've really been fighting for a while, and finally, a week and a half ago or so, I felt like, okay, there's the feel I'm looking for. It didn't show up immediately, but the swings were, and I knew once the swings started coming out that, the results were going to be, soon to follow.
You're talking about trying to lift the ball more. Is this you going back to what you were doing previously, or is this improvements in the adjustments you were making?
Well, some of it's stuff that I've done in the past. Actually, a lot of it's stuff that I've done in the past, but, between Alan and Marcus and Reggie and Carlos and Al, there's been a lot of talks and discussion about it, and I've tried to be open-minded and take a bit here and a bit there, and sometimes you have too much information and that gets in the way. So, it was really a combination of things. But when I'm comparing my swing now to when probably 2012 when it was the best it's ever been, I'm doing a lot of things the same, and that was a good year for me. So I think that's probably a good thing.
Was this the most challenging slump of your career, this stretch?
To be quite honest, I felt worse at the plate for stretches. Especially from the right side, I haven't felt bad all year. And the advanced numbers even say that. Like, I've been hitting the ball as hard as I've hit it in my career and just haven't got any hits. And then when you couple that with you feeling terrible on one side of the plate, then that's how you get where I was. But I think the toughest part about it was it coincided with, the team not playing well. So then when you come up in a big spot and you're slumping and you're like, man, I just got to pick this up. I got to get the team going, and you're not able to do it. That's tough. So, maybe it is. I mean, it's never fun, but, I think I've said it before. I mean, I honestly didn't feel lost at the plate. I wasn't swinging and missing. I wasn't swinging at bad pitches. I just wasn't getting hit. So, it was different because, there's times where you go up there when you feel like you don't have a chance, and I didn't feel like that, and I just wasn't getting hit. So, a little bit different than anything I've ever dealt with.